Welcome back to Brandon Sports Talk. In today's episode, I'm going to be talking about should every NWSL team have statues of legendary players. I think personally that the NWSL should invest in obviously having statues of legendary players that have meant a lot to the league, whether they are U.S. women's national players that transitioned from playing nationally to playing in the NWSL, or whether it's just they went from college to the NWSL and they didn't play for the U.S. national team. I do think that you should have at least 2 to 3 players of the statues at every stadium for fans to obviously take photos of, remember those players of, and obviously to remember their legacy that they left on the NWSL. I do see, for example, obviously having U.S. women's national players as statues of these NWSL teams, along with having just NWSL players as statues for these NWSL teams. For example, I think one of the best ways to obviously have 2 players for every stadium is have maybe a U.S. women's national player and then have another NWSL player that never played for the U.S. women's national team. Or you could have 2 NWSL players that never played on the U.S. women's national team represented as statues. That is totally up to obviously the teams such as North Carolina Courage, Orlando Pride, and New York Gotham FC, New Jersey New York Gotham FC, and the San Diego Waves. For example, I could see North Carolina Courage players Casey Murphy, Samatha Murphy, Kaleigh Kurtz, Jessica McDonald, all having statues in the North Carolina vicinity at their facility. Orlando Pride's Alex Morgan, Brittany Wilson, and Bridget Cathian, OL Region, Megan Rapinoe, Rose Lavelle, Leah Pruitt, Washington Spirits, Kelly O'Harris, Morgan Elizabeth Goff, New Jersey Gotham FC, Carli Lloyd would definitely have a statue, especially after having been retired this recently. She definitely deserves to have a statue. Alexandra Long, Paige Monaghan, Gina Lloyd, Lewandowski, Angel City FC, Julian Ertz, Christen Press, Chicago Red Stars, Kaylee Watt, Malory Pugh, Emily Boyd, Ellie Stevens, Houston Dash, Rachael Daly, Jan Campbell, Racing Louisville, Emily Fox, and Addisyn Mercer, Kansas City FC, Heather O'Reilly, Addisyn French, Elena French, Amy Rodriguez, and Portland Thorns Lindsey Horan. I see those players being excellent candidates to obviously be the first people to be represented as NWSL statues, as being legendary players that have meant a lot for their program and for their team and put their team on the map. Especially players like Alex Morgan, Casey Murphy, Samatha Murphy, Kaylee Kurtz, obviously Megan Rapinoe, Carli Lloyd. Those players have meant a lot to their league and to their teams. So I definitely see them being honored one day as being NWSL statues in front of their teams. I see it also having a great impact on the fans, as some fans obviously, now that obviously players like Alex Morgan and Megan Rapinoe and Carli Lloyd don't play on the U.S. Women's National Team, and obviously Carli Lloyd just retired from soccer in general, some of these young fans will never remember seeing Carli Lloyd, but they could definitely see a statue of her and see all of her stats and statistics on what she has meant to the game of NWSL, along with obviously the U.S. Women's National Team. Thank you for listening to Brandon Sports Talk. Should every NWSL team have statues of legendary players? See you in the next episode. Bye!